After the pageant, she waited, humiliated, backstage with Jem until everyone else had left. Then the two started for home. It was dark, and Scout couldn't see much anyway because of her costume, but she could hear. Someone was following them. As they started running, suddenly someone seized Scout and she fell. After a brief, frenzied scuffle, the children dashed on toward the house. This time, Scout felt Jem jerk backwards to the ground. More scuffling, then a dull crunching sound, and Jem screamed. As Scout groped toward Jem, she was grabbed, and her breath was slowly squeezed out of her. Suddenly, the attacker lurched back, twitched, and fell. Scout heard someone breathing heavily, and then a violent sobbing and coughing. This someone picked Jem up and staggered down the street to the Finch's home. After Sheriff Tate had surveyed the scene of the fight, he reported to Atticus, "Bob Ewell's lying on the ground under that tree down yonder, with a kitchen knife stuck up under his ribs. He's dead, Mr. Finch." As the household calmed down that night, and Scout was reassured that Jem would live, she suddenly realized that a stranger was standing behind the door, a man so white he looked as if he never saw the sun, his cheeks thin and hollow, his eyes colorless, and his hair disarranged and dead-looking. At last Scout had met Arthur Radley. "Hi, Boo," she said, just as she always imagined greeting him. According to Heck Tate, dragging shy Boo Radley into the limelight of a murder trial would be as sinful as killing a mockingbird. There would be no trial. Heck Tate's report would read that Ewell had fallen on his knife. Boo Radley hardly ever left his home, but one October night, when his friends, the children he had watched so frequently from his window, needed him, he came. "Thank you for my children, Arthur," said Atticus Finch, as Scout turned to walk Boo home. Upon receiving an air rifle for Christmas, Jem had been counseled by his father never to kill a mockingbird. It would be a sin, because they don't do one thing but make music for us to enjoy. To Kill a Mockingbird tells of the gradual ethical awakening of Scout Finch and her brother Jem. Slowly they become aware of the difference between truth and gossip, and learn that people and things are often both more and less than what they seem. That kind, easygoing neighbors can be twisted by prejudice and convention. After the Halloween attempt on their lives, Jem and Scout finally see that the fear and ignorance behind their own harassment of gentle Boo Radley was not so different in essence from the suspicion and scapegoating that led to the killing of Tom. To tease Boo was as shameful as killing a mockingbird.